everybody, it's Liz. It's Sunday, Mother's Day, and I want to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day out there, all the mothers. And I wanted to share with you real quick the projects I created for my mom for Mother's Day. She's not here right now. She is hanging out with a couple of friends, so I can't wait for her to get back so I can give this to her. And I wanted to definitely share it with you before I do. So here are my projects for Mother's Day. And my mom, if you guys, have watched some of my other videos, you guys know how much I love my mom. My mom means the absolute world to me. She's my mom, my dad, she's everything. So it's just, Mother's Day is always such a special day for me because I feel like it's not the only day that I honor her, of course. I love her every single day, but it's such a special day to me. But anyways, I'm babbling. Let me show you what I created for her. And my mother is really into sewing, especially embroidery. Really, that's really her thing. She loves creating, little baby blankets and things like that. And so I wanted to create something that had a little bit of a sewing theme to it. So she's always losing her scissors, itty bitty scissors and needles and things like that. So the first thing that I decided to make for her was one of these altered mason jars. And what I did with this one, it's just the little mason jar that you can pick up at the dollar store. So it's just, it's got like a smooth side or whatever, which is what I wanted because I wanted to adhere papers to it and I didn't want it to, bunch up or, show any bulky parts to it. So this is a little mason jar. It was perfect. And the paper collection that I used for my projects is by Die Cuts with a View. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. But it is called the Primrose Stack, and it is so pretty, you guys. I actually just picked this up maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago at Michael's when all the paper pads were like 50% off. So I definitely wanted to get my hands on it. I thought it was so pretty, and I had my mom in mind for those papers. But these are some of the colors that she likes, the pinks and the blues, and they're so beautiful. And of course I wanted to go for a vintage theme. So as you can see, everything is aged with the vintage photo. I really love using the vintage photo because it gives the paper such an aged look, and it looks just beautiful. So like I said, I started off with just a regular mason jar, and what I did is I just took a strip from the paper collection here, and I punched both edges with the Martha Stewart punch. I don't remember what this one is called, but it's one that I like to use quite a bit. It kind of reminds me of a doily, so it's really pretty. But I punched both edges out. And the strip is pretty wide, it's about that wide, and it just goes all the way around the mason jar. And on top of that strip, I cut a second strip out of the pattern paper, this pink one, and of course I aged it with the vintage photo, and I just adhered that on top. I wanted sort of like a band. And on the back, I used these little snaps. These are just, little sewing, little snaps you can pick up in the sewing section at your store, and I just wanted to adhere them on here to sort of look like it, the two ends come together and you connect them with the little snaps. So I thought that was kind of cute. So I've got the little snaps there. And let me see here. I kept it really simple, you guys. My mom is a simple woman. She doesn't like a lot of extravagant things and stuff like that. And I know she's definitely going to use this, so I didn't want a whole lot of stuff on here because, she's going to hold it and open it and things like that. Just enough details to make it pretty. And this here is actually one of the die cut pieces, not a die cut, it's a page that comes in the Primrose Stack, and you can cut out the little labels, little tags. It's really, really cute. This is one of them. I aged it with vintage photo, and then I used a stamp here. This is a Happy Mother's Day. And then I fussy cut this little cluster of flowers from one of the other papers, and I just adhered it right here in the corner. I didn't adhere the entire thing because I wanted some of the edges to kind of sort of look a little more dimensional. So I just put glue just in the middle. And then over here I've got this really pretty butterfly that I fussy cut from a second paper. See how it's already at the bottom? And I just adhered, I added some glue right here in the middle so the wings can look, more dimensional. And it's already nice and glittery. It's really pretty. So I've got that on there. And for my lid, of course, I wanted to do a pin cushion. Here she can store a whole little pin cushion, needles, things like that. And inside it's perfect for her scissors, her measuring tape, all the other little notions that she is always losing, seriously. So it's going to be perfect storage for her. For the top, all I did is I took a little, this is a piece from the pattern paper. It's actually a really long strip measuring about 12 inches. And I just adhered it right here as the band. So it's like a little measuring tape. And the numbers have glitter on them. Sorry, it's not focusing. Come on. Maybe I'm too close. Sorry about that. It's kind of blurry. But the numbers have glitter on them, so it's really pretty. And for the pin cushion, this was so easy, you guys. All I did is I bought, you know, those jar jewelry things from, I think this one was from Hobby Lobby, $4.99, and you get 2 of them. So it's perfect. You don't have to make, you know, you don't have to give it any batting or anything. It's already there. And I just adhered it onto the lid with some Fabri-Tac and also some hot glue on the edges here so that it would, you know, be, it would lay flatter. So really like that. I think it came out really cute. And of course I got a couple needles and there are little stick pins. And then I added some seam binding that I dyed using Vintage Photo. It's crinkle seam binding, and I just have it tied around. And then I've got a little, couple of little strips of like lace and a couple of other pieces of seam binding. And there's some in pink, and then I got this really pretty lace from, I think Gisela gave this to me. It's really pretty. I believe it's from her shop. Really nice and dainty. I did ink it up a little bit with the Vintage Photo to age it better. And so I've just got a couple little strips just hanging there. And then I created some charms. The chain does come off completely if you want to take it off, but it's just an antique gold chain. And then I've got some, you know, little trinkets here. I've got little scissors that are super cute. I normally do not like to mix my metals. I've got a thing for mixing metals, but in this case I really wanted to go for more of an eclectic feel, so I did mix some of my metals. I've got a silver little charm here that's like a little sewing machine. I've got a little Tim Holtz bauble that's got a silver bead cap on it. Ugh, I'm tongue-tied here. And then I've got this cute little ruler. So I've just got like a cute little charm that hangs right here next to the strips of seam binding. So very, very simple to make. This was so cute. And I really like the way that it turned out. I think my mom's going to love it. It's vintage. It's so her. It's beautiful. So that's the first thing I made for her. And then the card that I decided to make, I've been seeing a lot of these beautiful, some people call them pop-up cards, some people call them card in a box. But I think they're just so beautiful. They're so cute because they're so fun to add all these little elements that, you know, that pop out from the card. And so I definitely wanted to give it a go. And I'm so happy that I did. It looked difficult. Believe me, when you look at them, you're like, oh my God, how did they make it if you haven't made one already? But they're actually really, really easy to make. The hardest part is just, you know, well, not the hardest, I should say the longest part is adding all your embellishments. It's so easy. And I'm going to find the blog where I found the instructions, the tutorial, and I will put the link to that blog in my description below so you guys can go take a look. She gives really, really good instructions on how to create your own, and mine turned out so cute. I'm very happy with it, and it really was not difficult at all. It's just a matter of making sure your dimensions are right. You know, I always have a problem measuring things, but she gives you, I followed her directions, you know, to a T. Some minor alterations towards the end, but as far as the base of the card, I followed her instructions. Okay, so I'm going to put the link below so you guys can go take a look. But anyways, just look how pretty this is. I love it. And again, the paper is the Primrose Stack by Die Cuts with a View, and it's so pretty, you guys. Really, really pretty. And so I just followed the tutorial using some vanilla cardstock, and then of course I used the paper over that, and of course I've got this little, I try to use the same types of details that I used on the mason jar. So I've got the little measuring tape, and that goes all the way around my card at the bottom. This is the back. This is where you would write your message. So I chose one of the papers that didn't have a lot of print or a lot of images on it, so that, you know, when I write my message, my mom can actually read it. And then at the bottom, I've just got these 2 little die cut buttons. These are the little Tim Holtz, what is it called, the sewing dies, and it comes with little buttons. So I die cut 2 of them, and then I've got one popped up with some foam tape. And again, all of my edges are inked with Vintage Photo. It's so, so cute. And just look how beautiful this paper is, right? It's very vintage. Love it. And I covered the flaps as well. So, so pretty. And oh my gosh, the inside is so gorgeous. I started off with the frames. These are the ornate frames, the Tim Holtz die. And I definitely wanted, like I said, a sewing theme, almost like a sewing room type of thing. So I created a mirror using that frame. I die cut it first out of chipboard. And then I die cut the paper, adhered it onto the chipboard, and I used the mirror, you know, that mirror, I think it's by Ranger or, you know, Tim Holtz or whatever, and I used that to create a mirror. So see, you could probably see like my reflection. Here I am. And so I've got that on there, and to create the mirror. And then I wanted a dress form. So again, this is the sewing die from Tim Holtz, the little dress form. Again, I used chipboard. Actually, no, I take that back. I didn't use chipboard on that piece because this is a card that, believe it or not, actually folds flat. So you can, you know, put it in a box. So I didn't use chipboard because I wanted it to be a little flatter. So I basically did cardstock. I die cut the front. I die cut two pieces so I could have a front and a back. See, if you could see from the mirror, the back is covered. And then I wanted a little dress, so that's a different piece of pattern paper, and I added that onto the dress form. I've got a little pearl strand on top. Look how cute, right? Isn't that pretty? And then I wanted to create a lot of different, I don't have a lot of sewing theme things, so I definitely have to go buy some. I went and got this cute little stamp set from Hobby Lobby. I'm sure you guys have seen it, but look how cute it is. So it's got a sewing machine, buttons, scissors, a little thimble, a little spool, and it was just perfect. And I used this to stamp on some of the pattern paper. And I used I believe it was walnut stain because I really like the color, the vintage, you know, feel of it. And then I fussy cut all the little pieces here. So over here I've got the little sewing machine, I've got the scissors, the little thimble is right here, I've got a little button over here. And I just stamped it onto the paper and, you know, fussy cut it out. And to create this effect here, there's these little strips, and it'll be in the tutorial, you guys. And there are these little strips that you adhere to the inside of the card. I don't know if you guys could see that. And that's where you attach all your little embellishments. And what I did to make them, you know, sort of pop out, I used acetate. Let me see if I have one where you guys could see it better. You could probably see that on the spool. You see that piece right here? It's acetate, and I actually just used packaging, you know, the packaging that we get from like the what is it called, from the Spellbinders, because it's not flimsy. I wanted it to support some of the chipboard pieces that I added, but you can see it's just a little strip of acetate. You adhere part of it to your embellishment, and then the other part is adhered down to the strips. So it's really cool. It's really pretty. And I've got some spools that I used. These are the Tim Holtz same die that the dress form, you know, is from. And then I added some embroidery thread to that. And then over here, you guys could see this. This is one of those little, oh gosh, I can't think. Oh, bobbins. You know, like sewing bobbins. And there's a button on top. And this is from the On the Edge die, also by Tim Holtz. It comes like with a long strip, but I just used that piece. I cut it out of chipboard, and then I painted the bobbin. I inked it with vintage photo, and I paper pieced the little button. Really cute. And then I've got some little flowers. These are little flower clusters that I fussy cut from the paper collection, and I've got a few. There's some more over here, back there. So it's just super cute. I just love how it pops up. And then I just love the sentiment I used here. It says, "Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm so lucky to have a mom like you." And this is from a really cute stamp set I just picked up. Where did it go? Let me see so I could show you. Here it is. I picked it up at Michael's. It is by Hero Arts, and it's got a lot of cute, you know, sayings. Sorry about the glare. And I really liked it. I just picked it up just for this project. I really love that. So I stamped one of the little labels, again from the Primrose collection, and I fussy cut it out, inked it with vintage photo, and adhered it on here with some foam tape. And then I've got some little pearls just in the corners. I've got some fussy cut flowers over here, and it's just really pretty. I really like it. I like the way it looks. And for my other flaps, because you don't have to decorate your flaps, but I did. I wanted to decorate my flaps, and I wanted a lot of little embellishments or whatever. And so these, again, are those labels from the collection, and I fussy cut it out, inked it with vintage photo. I've got some little flowers here, and these are all on foam tape to give them dimension. Same thing over here. This is basically identical to the other side. See? But it's so cute. See, this is where you could see the strips that I'm talking about. In the tutorial, she only had 2 strips. I wanted 4 because I wanted to add a lot more embellishments, and I wanted them to be staggered. So I added 4 little strips. And I did cover the strips with some of that same paper, the little measuring tape. I hope you guys can see that. I didn't want the bare look of cardboard. And for my front here, again, this is just another one of those little labels from the Primrose stack. So pretty. And I've got another little fussy cut flower, just popped it on there with some foam tape. So this was really, really easy to make. I know it looks hard. It really isn't, you guys. And it turned out so pretty. I think my mom is going to love it. I love it. I'm going to make one for me just to have. It's so cute to have on your desk and just to have it displaying. It's so pretty. So that's my card that I made for her, you guys. And to go with the card, I made her a box. Of course, these cards, you can't put them in envelopes if you're going to send them out because they are very dimensional. They do fold flat, but not completely. But I created a box so that I could put the little card in there. Like if she doesn't want to have it on display, she can store it in the little box. Or she can use this box for, you know, whatever she likes. If she wants to put like note cards in there, or maybe she wants to store like other cards and stuff. So I just created this cute little box, and I just kind of followed my own. I measured, of course, you know, my card as it was laying flat, so I would know my dimensions. I honestly don't really remember what they are, but if you guys want, I could definitely figure it out. I think I have them written down somewhere. But it's a cute little gift box, and it turned out really pretty. I just used ivory cardstock. I did, see the bottom is still cardstock, but I did cover the sides with the pattern paper from the Primrose stack. Super pretty. All my edges are inked with Vintage Photo again. For the top, the lid, I just created it out of one of the papers from the collection. And it's so pretty. I picked this one because it had the pretty little detail on top. I like how it has, you know, 2 colors, and it has almost like a sort of like a lace, and it's glittery. Really pretty. And then I took some elements from the collection. I fussy cut this label out, and then the flowers, I've got some of them popped up on foam tape, of course, to give them dimension. And then I fussy cut the little butterflies as well, and I used some stickles on the wings, just part of the wings. These were plain, but I definitely wanted the glitter look, so I do have stickles on the wings of the butterflies. Really super pretty. It's a very, very simple box, you guys. Really easy to make. And then I just took a little piece of lace and I glued it to the inside lid, the inside part of the box, so that just the little scallop edges would be, you know, showing. And it's so pretty. And there's lace going all the way around the box. So, really cute. Now let me show you. So the box, I think, is going to be, I believe it's 8 1/4 by 6 1/2, if I remember correctly. And so, you know, basically you just open it up. This is a great way to store your card when you give it. And I'm going to show you. This will close like this. See? Isn't that cool? So it's not completely flat, you guys, of course, because of all the embellishments. And I did use chipboard. If you had just used cardstock, it would probably lay flatter. But I used chipboard on some of my pieces, so that's why it's not going to be as flat. And that's fine. I made sure that when I made the box, I, you know, took that into consideration, and so the depth will accommodate this box. So basically, you're just going to put the card in there. I don't know if I'm in frame here, and then, you know, I can close it, put the lid on it or whatever. I got to kind of mess with it a little bit because of the lace, but it does close perfectly, and it's going to be so pretty when she opens it. I'm going to be so happy. See, it just takes a little bit of, you know, moving the lace around, but see, it fits perfectly. So I've got a cute little gift box to store the pretty little card, and then of course her little mason jar. I think she's gonna love it. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Anyways, you guys, those are my projects for today. I can't wait for her to get home so I can give them to her. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I really, really hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful Mother's Day. I'm just hanging out at the house. I'm not really into going out to eat to restaurants and things like that. I don't really like a lot of crowds, so I stay home and I just chill. My kids made breakfast for me. I think hubby's going to make dinner for me, and I'm just going to hang out and enjoy my day with my family. And I hope you guys enjoy the day with your family as well. So thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you all real soon. Bye-bye.